What's up, guys? Welcome to the Full Court Talk podcast, and we have a very, very special episode today. And I got to introduce my guest. Go ahead and introduce, or you can introduce yourself.
What up, though, guys? My name is Easy from the Speakeasy Podcast, the Speakeasy Sports Channel. If you guys haven't checked us out, we cover everything from MMA, UFC, boxing, obviously basketball and football. Tons of guests on too, both, again, from the UFC, NBA, and NFL, too. Darius Slay, Matt Barnes from the NBA, retired NBA guy. Try to get some more NBA guys. Definitely some Pistons.
Oh, definitely. You need some Pistons on there.
Yeah.
But, before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe. And check our social medias down in the link below. Definitely, I'm going to put Speakeasy's podcast on there for sure. Go check it out. It's super good. And a lot of guests on there. Yep. But, let's introduce some topics. So the first one we're going to talk about is Rudy Gobert and how he got a supermax contract, 5 years. And then the second topic, where will James Harden be traded to? The third one, who are you most excited for in the upcoming season? And the third topic, more Clippers controversy, and it's Jerry West and his tampering. The fifth topic, what team is looking best for the preseason or after the preseason? And the last topic, who do you guys have getting to the finals? So, Rudy Gobert gets a 5-year, $234 million, something like that.
So it's up there.
Yeah, it's high. It's a lot of money. He's getting paid more than AD. That's insane in itself. But I think the thing that we need to look at is like Rudy Gobert has never proven himself to be that guy.
Yeah, and
they went ahead and paid him either way. He was a former Defense Player of the Year. He's very good on defense, but offensively, he has no offensive repertoire. He is very – his best move is probably a putback dunk. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
He's a glorified rim runner that plays defense, and he's still got the supermax. So I'm confused on why the Jazz did this, but what do you guys think?
Am I starting off or –
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why. I mean, obviously, I think probably because they've experienced success with them. They are a small market team, out there in Utah. They're not because you guys were in Cali, right?
Yeah.
It's everyone wants to be in Cali, all the babes, the sun, all that stuff is attractive out there. Utah, I could not tell you what the hell is in Utah. Could you,
The canyons.
So I think they did experience a little bit of success with them, but with that being said, it's just he's not a supermax guy. It was super weird to see, man. I'm trying to pull up some stats right now too. I apologize for multitasking, but I'm trying to look at his points. Yeah, he averages 15 points a game. You know what I'm saying? That's not deserving of a supermax contract. Yeah, he's a former defensive player of the year. I noticed you said he got more than AD, but I think that's because of AD was traded to the Lakers and because they have bird rights or whatever there in Utah. But weird situation. The league's kind of turning to where I don't think you necessarily need a big man, especially one who's not really producing on offense. It's definitely a head scratcher. I wonder if Utah fans are pissed or happy. That's a good. I'm curious.
Yeah. I mean, what I want to say is, was he ever an All-Star? I don't recall.
I believe was he last year?
I'm not sure.
I remember him crying because he didn't make it.
Yeah,
because I think remember one year there were no centers in the All-Star game or something like that, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just one factor to my decision of not agreeing with the supermax. I mean, as Spence and I discussed earlier, honestly, I don't think that he's worth that. I think if anything, he's worth a max. I mean, tops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of surprising as after the antics that he pulled last season. You know what I mean? We see on social media what he did with the mics and all that right before the games got canceled. And then obviously that event created a rift between him and Donovan Mitchell. But, obviously that repaired, as you can see in the bubble. It was awkward at first, but I just don't think he's worth the contract. And Speakeasy said, they're a small market team. That's probably why, they'll take any type of excitement. Rudy Gobert. And he's traditional big, you know what I mean? And like Spence said, he doesn't have that much of a repertoire when it comes to offense. Don't get me wrong, on defense, he's great. He'll disrupt shots and whatnot. But it's just being that guy for Utah along with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I don't know. I think they could have went elsewhere. I mean, obviously not trade him, but not spend enough.
Yeah.
But Stifle Tower, man, I don't know. If I'm a Jazz fan, it is a head scratcher. I'd probably be so confused as to why they did something like that.
Well, and then
Yeah,
does it
definitely
have
confused.
into like with Gordon Hayward and him leaving? Do you think that has anything to do with it? Like they got so desperate, like damn, we got to lock him up because we don't want another guy to leave.
Well, it's like, but the thing is, like, do you necessarily like our teams like winning with like guys like Gordon, like or Rudy Gobert, like at the five? Like, no, like yeah, you seen AD, but
Yeah,
AD is like offensively gifted, where he could shoot around, threes and
yeah,
whatnot. Like Gobert doesn't
yeah.
provide that for you, so I don't. I'm thinking maybe it was like, I guess it's to keep some type of winning success. I don't know, man. I'm confused because like the other thing too is like you could have traded them. I'm sure there's somebody else would surely have them paid them the same amount of money and maybe grab
Yeah.
some like draft capital. I mean, I don't know. It is super. It's a head scratcher. What's the national media saying about this move? Are they critiquing it, or are they like?
I haven't really
supporting
seen
it?
anyone talk about it because I think it's not really like it's a pretty big move, but I don't think it's like a world shattering move, because it's like
Yeah, because Rudy Gobert. It's like, yeah, that's why it's a head scratcher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it's just a weird signing because the Jazz just like they don't have much going for them in terms of their team right now because Donovan
yeah,
Mitchell's really good, but like Mike Conley hasn't worked out. Bojan Bogdanovic didn't even play in the bubble, so like it should get more interesting. But like even then, their free agency wasn't great. They didn't do much, so I'm just not sure what they're trying to do here. But
I mean, personally, I feel like they just want like Speaky said, like the success they had last season.
yeah.
They want to keep that team together
yeah,
and hopefully get over the hump that they couldn't reach with the bubble. You know what I mean? And blowing that lead to the Nuggets. So I feel like they want to give it another shot because it was working. But I mean, at this point, like we all agree on, like Gobert is not the big that the NBA is leaning towards to nowadays. And I just can't help but think, like, when you think of Gobert, like what Steph Curry did to him, you know what I mean? Made him
turn
dance and
around.
all and all those memes, man. But yeah, I just think they want to maintain what they have. They don't want to risk moving forward. But it is a head scratcher because I don't
Yeah.
think he's worth that much.
Oh, definitely not. No, he's worth maybe a max, and that's kind of
Yeah.
pushing it at least. But
Yeah.
let's get into the real interesting news. So James Harden seems like he's going to be traded any day now. Where do you guys think he's going to get traded to at least?
Me personally, I think there's two teams, and people are like bringing up so many other teams, but I think there's two
Yeah.
teams that are an actual possibility. I think one, and it's kind of like out the blue from my standpoint, but and I don't know if it'll happen because James Harden's been obviously showing himself as a diva a bit now, but OKC has hell draft capital, you have to give up for it, and that's not like a front leader. But the number one option to me, for both for James Harden and for like the Rockets, is the 76ers. I think they have they have Ben Simmons. The cap space situation similar between the two, maybe adding another piece like Tobias Harris and whatnot. I think that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid's proven not to work. So it's like, I think it's time to blow that up anyway. I don't know why they're, headed into another year with that. Cause it's like, there's no spacing on this floor with these guys. Cause Ben Simmons can't shoot, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's what are you doing there? So like, and I think it works out best for James Harden too. Like, get you a big, like Joel Embiid. That sounds like a meme. Get you a big, like, who does this for you? But like, get you a big like Joel Embiid who's gonna play some defense for you and grab the board so you just shoot again. And Joel could shoot a little bit himself. I think James Harden and Joel would be a dangerous duo, especially in the Eastern Conference there. But I think that makes the most sense in 76ers. That's where I want to see him go. And I think Ben Simmons and Houston would be great for Houston too because he's a young guy that you could build around. Get some shooters around him. And yeah, I mean, it makes the most sense to me. I think it's the 76ers.
Mm.
Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah. I would have to agree. It's just, what they said about Ben Simmons and how they don't want to make him available for the trade. However, you saw the Wizards do the same thing with John Wall, and then he was gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I don't know if it's a smokescreen or what, but I would definitely like to see him with the 76ers alongside Embiid. But personally, if I'm the Rockets, I mean, this trade package was brought about in November 14th from what I saw. And It's with Brooklyn, and they have a combined like trade package that includes Dinwiddie, Karras, Jarrett Allen, and Torian Prince. And so, like, if I'm the Rockets, I'm taking that. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, man,
Over Ben Simmons?
over Ben Simmons, yeah, because I feel like you can stay young, but at the same time, you get players that can compete right now. If you get Ben Simmons, you pair him alongside John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, and I just don't think John Wall can play off the ball. Like, I feel like he needs the ball to dominate, and so
I
does
agree
Ben
with that
Simmons.
part. Yeah.
And so, like, by going to Brooklyn, this is for me. Speaking on the Rockets case, you get players that you can invest in for the future, and you can compete with now because we all know what Karras can do. We saw that in the bubble. Like, he's a gifted young player. Jared Allen, he can play alongside Christian Wood and DeMarcus Cousins. And so, like, if I'm the Rockets, I'm just taking that. I'm taking that package. However, I would like to see James Harden paired alongside Joel Embiid. Like, that duo would be nice in the East.
Dude,
And
fire, man.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I definitely think they would cause like trouble out there. And it also helps with James Harden reuniting with Daryl Morey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
That's another key thing I forgot to mention too is Daryl Morey's over there now too in Philly.
yeah, you know what I mean? And depending on who they have to give up, I mean, surrounding James Harden with an actual big that, in my opinion, was better than Clint Capella. I mean, yeah, he can catch the lobs and he had chemistry with James Harden, but like you said, speak easy. Like Joel Embiid can play defense and he can get his own, but the only thing is he has to buy in because Joel Embiid sometimes you see he gets lazy, he doesn't even run back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think personally, like, we all know he's going to go to the East. I mean, I don't see him going to the West. Even though there was like a new report of him going to the Nuggets. I mean, I don't know how true that is.
Whoa, that'd be crazy too.
Yeah,
What would they give up?
Jamal
so
Murray.
I saw Jamal Murray, ball, and some picks. But you know what? I don't see that working with Jokic. I mean, yeah, man. You never know, but I just see him going to the East. I see him going to the East, and I do like him on the Sixers. So for the sake of the question, like, Sixers, I'm going to go with the Sixers.
We'll go something a little different, but
I'm trying to picture him in a Nuggets jersey after you said that. It's like tripping me out. I can't.
It
My
would just
mind's
look
like
weird.
glitching right now. Like,
Hey, let me tell you, man. There's no popular strip clubs in the Mile High City, so I don't know if he wants to go over there.
yeah,
we know how he feels about that.
Upset.
Yeah.
And one important thing that I think to note too is I think James Harden has like 2 or 3 years still left on his deal. So like the Rockets don't necessarily have to do this. Like they can kind of like hold him to the fire a bit. I know he's acting obnoxious and like trying to get his way, but they're also digging their heels in too and not making the move yet.
Yeah.
Apparently they're like getting really close to just moving him, and that's dangerous for them because we've seen what that's like with Kawhi getting moved for nothing. And so it's going to be a tough situation, but I think a team that's kind of come out is the Heat. And I think the Heat are looking like they're preparing a big package because we know they want another starter pair alongside Bam and Jimmy.
Butler.
I know that they were willing to give up at least Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson. And I don't know if this is a smokescreen, but they said they covet Duncan Robinson more because he can shoot, playmaking, and I guess he has sneaky athleticism. I'm not too sure how true that is, but if that's a smokescreen to be like, hey, take Duncan, I get it. Because Duncan's really good, but he's also 27, 26 years old, so he's not as young as Tyler Hero. But the Heat have a lot of good bench pieces, so I could see this being somewhere that he goes, but he'd have to deal with Jimmy Butler, and I don't know if he would want to.
That's a fair point. That's a really great point.
Those egos would clash really badly.
Yeah.
And I think Jimmy is some guy that loves to run and like get up and down the court. We've seen James Harden stick on defense when he's not getting the ball. So I don't know, man. It's just going to be tough because like he's not a guy you can plug and play like on any system. He's going to have to you have to be heavy ISO to play with him. And you have to be able to deal with that. So I'm just not sure where he'd fit in today's system where ISO is just not as popular as it used to be.
Yeah, it's weird. He's definitely like a successful piece. Like I think a lot of people too are like discrediting like what he's done there in Houston. Like the teams he's lost to have been like the Golden State Warriors, and like you know what I'm saying, like one being like the winningest team of all time in NBA history, then two adding KD to that team. Like you know what I'm saying, like that's what he's been going up against, and even taking them to the Game 7 at times.
Yeah,
You guys are Warrior fans, right? Like
I'm a Warriors fan. He's a Lakers fan.
You guys sweating at that Game 7? Were you sweating a little bit? Like, oh shit, yeah, you know. And CP3 was hurt, so like it was.
Yeah.
I think he still could be great. I think for his ISO like play style, I think Joel like would fit that. It would be like the best pairing for that, you know, with the with screens and whatnot, you know. But we'll see, man. I'm excited for wherever he goes. All those teams you guys just named would be insane. The Nuggets, that would be insane. They got hot pieces there too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like this whole situation is just really weird, you know, because it just came out of all of a sudden. But I guess he said that he like before last season he was like, get Westbrook. If you don't, I'm gonna ask for a trade. And then they get Westbrook. They ship him off either way. And now he's like, I want a trade. It's like, what do you want? Really, like he just keeps asking for more players. They get the player, and then he's like, I don't like him. Ship him off.
He's definitely flew under the radar as like a diva too. Like, because there's been lots of pieces there in Houston. There was Dwight. There's CP3. Then we had Westbrook, obviously. Like a lot of revolving pieces have been there. It looked like winning pieces that they're working out, and maybe James didn't want them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I think during CP3's last season, I guess they didn't even talk.
Didn't see eye to eye at all.
Yeah, which is weird.
What I've seen. Yeah.
And I think like a lot of this comes down to like James just doesn't work with everyone. So is he gonna work with other stars? So like if he gets to the Nets, is he gonna be like KD, go get you a bucket, or is he gonna be like, no, I want the ball? It's just gonna be really like I just don't know how it's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't see Kyrie and James Harden working at all. Like
he already said he doesn't want him.
Oh, for real? Kyrie did?
I don't think he publicly said it, but I've seen that he said that he doesn't want him.
Respect to Kyrie for like going out there and say that. That's like something, you know.
He wants to be paired with his best friend, just him and KD, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saging out the arena.
But, you know, let's get on to the next topic. Who are you guys most excited for in the upcoming season?
For me, I watched the Nets in preseason, and I'm like, God dang, man.
I'm scared.
This team, man, like, if they don't win, there's no excuses, man. There's no excuses. And I've been known as a Kyrie basher in the past, like, because, like, the Celtics literally got worse, you know, when he came back, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, you see KD and LeBron, those are generational talents. Those are different situations, you know, pairing Kyrie with. So, and then you got to think, too, off the bench, they got, what the hell's the center's name? Jared whatever.
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. Karis LeVert. Like, man, they got Joe Harris still. Like, Tyler Johnson's there. They got, I think, Jeff Green signed there too. Like, bro, that team is, like, overall stacked. Like, their bench themselves could be a starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? And, like, the fact that they made it to the playoffs last year without those guys, pretty much, like, should tell you right there, there's no excuses for this team if they don't win, in my opinion. I'm not cutting them any slack this year. They look like they could be amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most excited to see, though. Them and the Warriors. I want to see how that chemistry works out with like the different pieces there.
I like it.
Yeah. And of course my Pistons.
Yeah. Before anything, I gotta ask, how do you feel about Killian Hayes so far?
I was about to ask that too. Yeah.
I like what I see just because I keep in mind he's 19. Yeah. He's 19. There was no like G League or Summer League going into here. He kind of was just like thrown into the fire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no like proper off season. He's only 19 years old. He's just literally like, here. You know what I'm saying? Like, here you go. Yeah. And I seen like, so his first game, I believe he had like 7 or 10 turnovers. And then the next game, I think it was none. It was like none or one. Yeah. So like he's correcting like what he's like been bad at. But the only concern that I've noticed that I'm seeing like a streak of that I haven't seen like corrected is like the shooting. But
yeah,
I think the playmaking ability is there, and I think he can get his on the inside too. And he's knocked it down he's young, man. He's really young.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna be good. Yeah. I think there's no doubting that.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys actually, real quick, if you don't mind. And we can talk. I can ask it later too. It's about my Pistons. I don't want to.
No. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What's an outsider's take on Sekou Doumbouya? Like, is there any hype or like, do you guys even know like who he is or give it? Do you cuss on the show? Do you guys give a crap who? Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
I won't cuss. You guys gonna give a crap who he is? Or any hype on him or like?
No, I know who he is. I know he's
Okay.
an uber athletic forward.
Same.
Can kind of shoot, kind of score. I know he had not a lot of hype coming out of last year's draft, but I know that he was definitely developed as a project.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like, because I saw him during the preseason, he had like 24 the other night.
Yeah,
he
dropped 23. Yeah,
he looked good.
He did about everything that game, dude.
Yeah, he did.
Because he's super long. Got a good NBA body. I know that.
Yes.
He's like 6'9", but he's super fast.
Yeah,
So
really athletic.
I think he's going to be good. And I think to unlock his potential, they need to get rid of Blake.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to play at the 4 spot. It's weird too, because like watching the Pistons, like Blake and Killian just look great together as far as like the ball handling and you know the ball movement is what
Yeah.
It's tough, man. But I wouldn't be mad though because hey, let's hit the lottery again. Let's get some, let's get another piece. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
We ain't winning a chip this year. I'll be honest.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like when he got drafted, I was confused at first because there were other players that you guys could have taken over him.
Sekou or Killian?
No, Sekou.
Yeah.
And so like, when he got drafted, they were trying to sell him as, one of the top next like international prospects coming in. And so like, after that, he barely got any PT, especially, I don't know how Dwayne Casey like treats his rookies, but I honestly feel like he should have got an opportunity. And, I'm glad that he's getting it now because look what he did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had like I said, he had an all-around game last game when he dropped 24. And so like, I feel like his role moving forward, if he could do that with the amount of forwards that you guys have now, I feel like it's just can only go up from here. Because, you have Grant, you got Plumlee, you got Blake. And so like, I'm really excited to see like, his production because, like he definitely has the tools. In my opinion, he definitely has the tools.
Yeah.
And in terms of Killian, like that's Spencer's guy. When we were doing the draft podcast, like that's the guy that he was really looking forward to seeing. So
yeah, I'm big on Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes. I think he's going to be really good.
Me too, man. He's like I said. I think the thing that I keep in mind is like he was, there's no offseason for all these rookies too, not just Killian, but no offseason for these guys. Kind of just thrown to the fire there,
and especially in like a total new place too.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I was going to say –
even. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. It's just he has D Rose to mentor him too. I mean, he can't.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You can't find a better slashing mentor like that.
Dude, it's D Rose who like won. He's former MVP, so obviously he worked his ass off to get there. 2, also been in the bottom too. Like this is a guy who seen like the ugliest parts of the league, from being traded, from being like injured and like just doubted. Like, he's fought back from that to some success too. So like. Honestly, the perfect guy to mentor a young guy like Killian for sure. And he's humble too. Like we got the same sentence where he's a former MVP coming off the bench here in Detroit. So like super humble guy, for him to mentor under. And I hope that humbleness rubs off on him too, because like I said, we're a small market team, and I don't want to lose a guy like Killian. Man, I hope we're able to re-sign him like Utah did Gobert. Hopefully Killian's more productive, but
because I remember seeing Derrick Rose said like I pulled Killian to the side and I was like, hey, this is your team now. I'm gonna mentor you and I'm gonna come off the bench. I was like, damn, that's a real one.
Hey, yeah, man, for real, 1,000%. Real quick thing too. I'm sorry for like nerding out my Pistons.
No, you're good.
How do you guys stack LaMelo and Killian? Like obviously, I think Melo probably look better in the preseason, right? But like. Yeah, I don't know what's your guys' take, because I only got my like Kool-Aid drinkers here, in Detroit, Michigan. So I like hearing the outsiders' take on this stuff.
I have Killian over LaMelo. I said this in the draft podcast. I think LaMelo's upside is really high, but I think Killian as a scorer and a playmaker and a defender just puts him above him, because LaMelo has never shown a defensive side.
Yeah,
Killian has shown that defensive side, and that's the thing that puts him over for me.
I agree. How about you, CJ?
Personally for me, I do have Killian, and I got confirmed with that prediction because of what Cole Anthony did to LaMelo the other day. You know what I mean? Like
I missed it. What happened?
Well, I mean, he just had a way better game. He dropped 19, and he was more consistent, and he was beating LaMelo off the dribble. And like Spence said, man, like LaMelo doesn't have that defense. He relies on getting that strip coming from behind or deflections. But, when it comes down to, like, Killian can actually, lock down and defend one-on-one. And,
Yeah.
he can keep up with his guy. And the only thing LaMelo has over him is passing, and the flashiness, which is obviously something you don't need, you know what I mean? And obviously, the hype that comes along with LaMelo because of the family and all that stuff. But, I think in the long run, like, Killian's going to have a better career. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just you can judge a person's, the way that they see the game when you compare those two. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you can see how young a person is if they automatically say LaMelo. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, LaMelo's gonna be better, like all this stuff. But it's just looking at the two and their situations, and the fact that Killian has like D Rose as a mentor, and like LaMelo has the Graham and Terry Rozier. So there's kind of a guard jam there. But
Yeah.
in terms of like Detroit, like the keys are his. You know what I mean? So in the long run, considering you guys keep him, and I hope you guys do, I think he definitely is going to have the better career.
Oh yeah. You guys
Yeah.
hype me up. Just hype me up.
I think it's gonna be tough for him at first, just because like we said, there's no summer league, and that's where the guys learn how to play ball in the NBA.
Yeah.
But he's still gonna be like I think he's gonna get like 12, 14 points a game, 6, 7 assists. His shooting number is gonna be around 37 to 40%. I would say it's gonna be tough, but I think he's gonna be really nice in the long run.
Yeah.
I agree.
But
Sorry
CJ,
for
who
turning that
you?
into
No,
a
you're
Pistons show,
good,
guys. I
You're good.
apologize.
No,
But
you're
who are you
good.
looking forward to, CJ?
Man, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Brooklyn. Like Speakeasy said, like the games that they had in KD's debut and like what Kyrie did that game, like they look comfortable playing off one another. You know what I mean? And so like they're definitely going to be a force to reckon with in the East. I mean, arguably the NBA as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see them top 5 in the East for sure. Considering Kyrie can stay healthy and KD can come back to at least 80%, but man, he looks like he's about to be 100%. After seeing him play.
That's what blew me. That's what was like the question there for me was like was KD going to be the same?
Yeah,
he looks like he can, and the talent around him can allow him to be good at what he's good at. He doesn't have to do like too much,
Yeah, and like I definitely see like assuming they stay healthy, like the Nets are gonna cause trouble in the East, man. Like I can see them winning at least 40 to 50 games.
Yeah,
in a
if
shortened
not
season.
More. In a shortened season, you know what I mean? And so like I honestly think like they're gonna win the East. That's just my opinion. I think they can win the East.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Definitely Brooklyn.
I agree. So I went a different route just because I think I wanted to pick the Warriors, obviously, but that was the bias in me. But I'm gonna go with the Trailblazers, man. They look really good, and their offseason was really nice. And obviously, I'm a big Dame fan because he's from Oakland, so gotta rep him. But he looks really good. I think last year he was just phenomenal. During the bubble, he was dropping 50 pieces like nothing. CJ, he's gonna get you a bucket whenever he can. He's still really good. But this is kind of like the feeling I have is like this is the last chance for them. They don't have any more chances.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like the Simmons and Embiid, but that's what it is. But they still they were able to get Robert Covington, something they desperately needed, some kind of perimeter defense, and he can shoot. But I think the big one is like getting Harry Giles for cheap. He's going to be good for them. He's a young guy, super bouncy. He's going to be nice. They needed some kind of bouncy big like that to pair with Yusuf because he's not super athletic. And adding Enes Kanter, I think that's going to be a low-key move because he's obviously offensively gifted.
Yeah.
But offensive rebounding, he is really nice. And that's his best attribute, I think. But in a loaded Western Conference, I think they have a chance to still be the 2 to 3 seed because I think the Clippers are going to take a step back even more so than last year because they had a tough offseason.
Damn. Didn't they get Serge Ibaka, though?
Yeah, but I mean, like, chemistry-wise, somehow the worst chemistry in the NBA got worse by them just keeping all these guys that probably kept a lot of the – like, I think they were giving out a lot of info about their locker room, and
that was weird.
It's tough. They've had a lot of appearances on our show just because we just keep talking about them because they have so many things going on. So I think they're going to take a huge step back.
Yeah.
But I think the Trailblazers are going to be the next team that I think kind of take a step forward, but they're still not going to be able to contend because they got to deal with the Lakers, the Mavs, Warriors are coming back big. There's a lot of teams in the West.
And, like, I want to say, like, for you, Spence, for your prediction, Melo is playing great off the bench. Could have never seen him coming off the bench like that. But first game, 21. Second game, 14. He's embracing that role, so I'm happy for him. You know, I like Melo. So but like
getting him back was huge too. Because I remember a lot of people were speculating like, oh, he's not going to go back, but he went back for a cheap price too. So Trailblazers look nasty.
Yeah,
no one else was grabbing him though too. Like when he was available until the Blazers got him.
Yeah,
everyone was like, I don't want it.
It's insane because like Melo was on a team like the Houston Rockets who had two ball dominant guys in CP3 and James Harden.
Yeah.
And then on OKC he was with Russ and PG. So he was given this role like, oh, you're a spot up shooter now. That's never his game. He's a guy that's going to work you in the post and the mid range.
Yeah.
He's perfect for that off the bench role now. So I'm excited to see what they do, you know.
Dude, there's so many teams in the West, honestly, because like some honorable mentions, like the Suns, obviously pairing up CP3 and Devin Booker. You got the Pelicans, who like, you know, may see Zion his first full season if he stays healthy, and I think him and Zoe can be dangerous, man. Like a dangerous duo for sure. Just, man. And there was one more in the West I wanted to talk about too. It's this Memphis. Yeah, I want to see what they do. The bubble too. I feel like it excelled the play of like a lot of guys too, like Damian, like you mentioned. I mean, I knew Damian was a dog, man. The night that the Lakers returned after the death of Kobe, and it was, you know, LeBron gave the big speech, and I'm like, yo, like this is LeBron's moment. Like he's about to have like his Mamba game. No,
nope.
Damian Lillard had that Mamba game.
Yep.
You know Don't remind me, man. Don't remind me.
Oh my gosh, man. I was like, this guy's a truth. And then the bubble happened. Then you see the dog come out of like a lot of people, like Jimmy Butler, Damian Lillard before injury. Devin Booker. So, like, I'm excited for this NBA season, man. Like, I'm excited for all teams. The other thing, too, is, like, it's like baseball now, too, like, where there's, like, series. You know, you're there.
Yeah, you're going to play them back-to-back.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
And there's, like, little, like, button heads, like, rivalries. Like, hey, I'm going to see you tomorrow, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to settle this tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that's true.
And, like, if you think about it, the West has, like, what, 10, 11 playoff contenders? And there's only 8 spots. It's going to be insane. And that's not even, like, taking into account, like, even the Kings got better, which is insane to say because they've been a really bad team for a long time. But it's going to be a really good season. I'm super excited for Tuesday. It can't come soon enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I agree.
You know, speaking of the Clippers, we got more Clippers controversy, like we said earlier. Jerry West this time is in the news. Let me read you what he said. So he said, "Hey there, this is Jerry calling. I really want to thank you a lot for trying to help. I heard this morning that everyone over in the Lakers camp thinks that they're going to get him being Kawhi Leonard. And this is all coming from Jerry West calling Johnny Wilkes. He said, I just find it hard to believe that they would want to go to that shit show where he wouldn't even get his name in the paper and he wouldn't even be the face of the franchise, that's for sure. He might be the best player on the team, but hope things are well again, and I really appreciate everything you've done. I will keep you apprised of what's going on. And I do want to work together again soon privately, and I would love to take you to dinner. And Sam is Johnny Wilkes' friend, if he's around, so I can at least pay my respects to you guys for being generous and helpful. Take care, and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye." So, sounds like tampering. And I think the thing that made it confusing was how people were taking the shit show quote and just putting that as their headline. And then it made it seem like that was the only thing wrong. But apparently there's more. Apparently Wilkes was promised $2.5 million, which West never paid out. And the NBA is investigating it because it's tampering. But I was thinking, like, what could they do? The season passed. They didn't win anything. Who are they going to punish? Jerry West?
Well, they're going to get fined for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think Jerry West will get suspended, maybe.
Yeah, probably something like that. This story was like, we guys are just tired of talking about James Harden. It was like tampering happens all the fucking time. The only thing I was like, sorry for swearing, but like the only weird part to me was like the guy, who received the voicemail was a 2.5 like $9 million. Like that I don't like, because that then like big market teams like, okay, that shows another reason why they have, you know, better chances at big names, because they also have more money to throw at you just to get the fucking interview. You know, it's like fuck, that sucks for like guys like, you know, Detroit or OKC and stuff like that. It's like you have to draft your teams to build it. So it's like that part was the only part that just discouraged me. The shit show part was like, yeah, I mean, everything he spoke was kind of true. You know what I'm saying? Like he would have been second fiddle behind LeBron and AD, and you know,
I mean, for me, change the logo ASAP. Change the logo ASAP. Nah, but you know what? Like you said, like it's just when you hear things like this, especially with, you know, somebody getting paid out, it's just, it doesn't make anything better for the other teams, obviously, and it's just the credibility is just shot for these big name teams. You know what I mean? And so like anytime they get, it's almost like college, like recruitment. You know what I mean? And so like there's always a threat of these kids going to like big name colleges like Kentucky and Duke, and like people always assume that they get paid, right? And we never really know what goes on behind closed doors. So I feel like this is what it translates to in the NBA with what Jerry West did. So it's just, man, like I honestly don't take offense to him saying that, because like you said, everything was true. Everything that he did say was true. And like you said, man, tampering happens all the time. It's just they got caught. They got caught. They weren't slick about it.
Well, I think another thing is like this makes me think like if this is all true and like Jerry West seemed very comfortable doing this, right? What does that mean for getting KD and getting Shaq? Like, did he pay other people to get them?
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah,
because like
I wouldn't doubt it.
Those moves were insane at the time, and like we thought, oh wow, Jerry West is the best negotiator ever. Probably not anymore. He's got a lot of money. So yeah, this is just like it's just adding worse to worse just for the Clippers. I think, like we've talked about, they've had such a tough offseason with the Kawhi and the Paul George perks coming out, and all their little like kind of sub arguments, and like with PG getting his max extension, which wasn't deserved.
That was weird. Yeah, that was
just another guy that didn't deserve the max but got it.
Fun question: who would you rather give that max to, PG-13 or Rudy?
Bro, I'm going Rudy.
I'm going Rudy.
Easily.
Yeah,
I'm going Rudy, bro. Like,
damn.
After what I saw in the bubble with PG and you know how he's performed, man, me and Spencer agree that since his Pacer days, man, it just hasn't been the same. I mean, to be fair, like he did get injured.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
gruesome
it's just
injury too, man.
Yeah, gruesome injury. But it's just from what I've seen, like as a fan, like he really hasn't proven much anymore. Like I think the highest accolade that he can have is taking LeBron and the Heat to Game 7 as a Pacer.
Being second place, third place in MVP voting.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so like and in the All the Smoke podcast when he was like, yeah, my MVP season, where?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. When that was like even being like spoken about, I was like, come on, guys, like why are we saying anybody else is going to be MVP right now? I think it was that year. It was either Russ or James. It was like
I think it was James.
For sure one of those guys
James.
that year. So it's like, why are we even mentioning a third person right now? Like, you know, like it's definitely between these two, no questions asked. Like, silly.
But you know what though? Regular season, man, PG, he goes crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just postseason comes around. Where is he? Yeah, you know. But in terms of like production, I'm giving it to Rudy, because at least in the playoffs, like they haven't done much.
He's gonna be useful at least.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And you can see his impact, but I mean PG. I'll tell you this though, I'll give that money to Kawhi for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to question Kawhi a little bit too, man. With like the amount of time sitting out, like him sitting out is kind of causing obviously a lot of turmoil and drama there in LA. And like, but I wouldn't discount them as a team though, man. I think there's obviously still uber talented. Like you can't count on Kawhi, and they got Luke Kennard now who could shoot.
Yeah,
they got Serge Ibaka who plays D and can shoot at times too. Like,
I
don't know, man. I think there might be a dark horse, which is crazy to say because of who's on the roster, but
they're still missing that point guard though. Pat Bev is not a good point guard for them.
Or Reggie Jackson.
Guy.
Oh, God. Reggie Jackson's not good either.
Hey man,
Yeah,
I
Reggie
liked him with
Jackson,
you
awful.
guys. I liked him with you guys, but after he
No,
left,
I wanted him gone so bad. It wasn't even funny.
It never made sense why they gave him that money in the first place.
I didn't, man. I think it's because James Harden. Because James Harden
Yeah.
came off the OKC bench, got traded, became MVP,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Reggie showed some signs, you know. But
yeah,
that guy, oh my gosh, atrocious. He's a two guard in a point guard's body or something. I don't even know.
He never showed any kind of like great offensive game on Detroit. He just kind of
Yeah.
like he was there, and
Dude,
it was
he's
just
so damn
tough.
selfish.
Oh yeah.
oh man.
But what team are you guys looking forward to after the preseason? Who do you think is going to be the best team coming in? Let's say other than the Nets now.
Oh man. Like, what team am I looking forward to? Who's gonna be the best?
Who's going to be the best?
Me, like 100% the Nets. I can't. I'm trying to think of who else I'm excited about. I think if we're going away from the Nets, I'll say the Clippers. I know they look terrible in the preseason, but I think the pieces that they have, as long as they're actually playing and maybe can get over their butt hurt feelings and whatnot, they could ball.
Yeah.
I like I've always liked Serge Ibaka throughout his career. Obviously, Luke Kennard's here, so I know what he can do. From shooting aspect. And then you have Kawhi and PG, into that mix as well. They should be good. There's another thing like the Nets. There's not really excuses for them. I know that you could complain about chemistry, but you guys have all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
Agreed.
For me, I'm looking forward to the repeat season. You know what I mean? I can't stay away from the Lakers. But if I had to go, remove my bias and say one team, I'm going with Miami. Me and Spence, like we were talking about this guy earlier, but KZ Opala, it looks like they got another steal, man, because that guy, he's been going crazy for them in the preseason. And, and they also have Precious Achiuwa, who was not a fluke when he was playing in Memphis, because, he basically took over after Wiseman went down with eligibility issues. But, man, like, considering they don't make the trade for Harden, they definitely have some pieces to help them go back to the finals. And, I obviously think that they're still one of the top teams in the East. But, it's just, to me, like, Miami's exciting. And the fact that, they made it to the finals last season when the Bucks were heavily favored to go, and they, took them down, almost swept them. So, and I would argue they got even better with, the pieces they picked up. They lost Crowder, but they picked up Avery Bradley. They drafted well. So I'm looking forward to seeing Miami, because I actually have a friend that's a Heat fan, post LeBron. So it's kind of crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Not a lot of those laying around, but yeah, Miami for me. If I had to go away from the Lakers, so.
Yeah, I think both of those teams are going to be good this season. The Clippers are going to be a little. I'm just scared of them just because like so many issues happened during the off season.
Mm-hmm.
But the Heat are going to be good, and I think they're definitely the team to watch in the West or the East now. I think they're going to be probably one of the top teams. But I'm going to go with the Mavs. The Mavs looked really good, and they were whooping the Bucks in the preseason, and their starters were playing like 16 minutes, and the Bucks starters were playing 25. So that tells me that the Mavs are ready, and they don't even have Porzingis yet. So they're going to be nice. Luka's already favored to be the MVP, so we know what that means. He's going to be the MVP.
I love Luka, man.
Oh, man, Luka's
so
good.
fun to watch.
He is
so good.
So skilled.
I was actually like frustrated with the Mavs this offseason. He's like, get this guy some pieces. Like, why are you wasting his like talent? You know what I'm saying? Because because what'd they do this offseason?
They got James Johnson, and I know it's not
Josh
like a
Richardson.
big name. Yeah. Those two guys are really good for them because they just
Who's the
needed
other guy?
someone to protect them. Oh, Josh Richardson.
Okay.
From the Sixers. He's going to be
Sixers.
nice for them. They needed some defense around Luka.
They lost Seth Curry.
Yeah. Well, they traded for Josh Richardson, I think. I think it was kind of like a swap, which it sucks to lose him because he's such a good shooter. But Richardson should fit really well because defensively he's a dog.
Yeah.
But shooting wise, he's nice. I don't know. He tore his Achilles though, right?
Yeah, but he's playing again. But obviously, Achilles injury is obviously something that you don't come back like 100% from,
Especially
unless
for
you're
bigs.
KD, I guess.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But they also got Cauley Stein back because he didn't want to go to the bubble, so they got him back.
Well, he had a
But
kid, I think.
yeah,
Is that what happened?
risk it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn it, I didn't realize that he was not in the bubble. That's crazy that they did as well as they did.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
hated Willie Cauley-Stein on the Warriors, but he was
And
so
then
frustrating.
they retained Trey Burke, who I think played really well.
Oh,
in the
he's gonna
bubble.
be nice for them. He's gonna be good.
Yeah, as
They
a
needed some
backup.
kind of backup.
Yeah.
Jalen
I think
Brunson
they just
should
need
get
to
better.
grab like an athletic wing for
Yeah.
Luka
Yeah.
to throw some lobs
Yeah.
up to and just I don't know, man. I just wish and Mark Cuban's a good owner too. It's like
Yeah, he's a great owner.
He does
I
stuff.
loved what he did with JJ Barea. Signed him and then released him. Gave him
Yeah.
some money too. It was good. But
Mhm.
the final topic question: who do you guys have getting to the finals from the East and the West?
ooh, I'm gonna let CJ go first on that one.
Hey man,
I'll
the
kill you,
answer is
Hayes, that one.
obvious.
Warriors, right?
Yeah, bro. Hey, Dub Nation. I mean, I obviously have the Lakers and I have the Nets. Those two teams, like, considering they stay healthy, I don't think anybody's getting in the way of Bron and AD going back. But I am definitely scared. I'm not gonna lie. I am scared of the Nets. It's just KD. His full potential is just we see what he did with LeBron, man. Like, I know he had help with Steph and all of them, but man, KD is just a different animal. So I do have them going there to the finals. But go either way. But I'm gonna go with them, and I have the Lakers in 6 games. I have the Lakers in 6
Okay.
games.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Good,
Lakers
Speaky.
and Nets for me.
Interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna echo that. I was trying to think like some upsets in my head. The only way I see upset is if, well, actually, I could see, and I know you guys, touched up the Clippers at the bad offseason and whatnot. I could see the Clippers maybe uprooting the Lakers. My only concern with the Lakers is AD.
Exactly.
Because they had that shortened offseason, so he was able to go into the postseason healthy. But like looking throughout his career, is like there's not many seasons he's ever finished healthy. And we almost seen the finals too. He almost like if that would have won a game set, he's questionable. I think one of the 2 of the games in the finals.
was.
It's like
Yeah.
That's the only concern for me for the Lakers, and I think he will be a concern still. Just maybe not playing to like his full potential. So that's why I think maybe the Clippers can maybe uproot him. But that's maybe the only team in the West. The West is crazy though, man. It's hard to say, especially like the bubble too. Like we were saying, like some guys have been like playing out their minds in that setting.
Yeah,
like, I'd have to agree. And then that should win it, bro. They're just way too stacked.
Yeah.
I have the same thing. Lakers, Nets.
Yeah.
It's hard to choose anyone else. Like we said, the West is stacked, but so are the Lakers. They've gotten so many pieces. Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol. They retained Kuzma.
I hate that guy, man.
He's from
Easy, if
Michigan.
you don't know.
He's pretty good, man.
No disrespect, but I hate that guy, bro.
He's on a rookie deal, so it's kind of like it's not like you guys are paying him like a whole bunch of money to be there either, though.
I don't want to pay him at all, man.
No, yeah, no.
He was tough, but
I think you guys are gonna miss Rondo though too.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna miss him for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
He turned it up in the playoffs. I think.
Yeah,
like
he was
times,
different.
Like,
he was different.
He's got that dog in him, man. Kind of like Jimmy Butler or whatnot. You could just see it. At times the Lakers look weak. Rondo was the one who like, let's fucking go. Like, where you guys at?
Yeah.
Hey, speak easy. You don't know the things that I've been saying, but I used to go off on Rondo. I used to go off on KCP, Kuzma, and Danny Green, and I'll just say 2 of those guys made me eat my words, and the rest didn't actually. So Rondo and KCP, man, they stepped it up. They were different in the bubble. You're right. When the Lakers look stagnant, like Rondo kept them together. But yeah, we're surely gonna miss him, a lot, because obviously Schroeder is an offensive point guard that can create his own, but he doesn't have the experience and mentality that Rondo has. And it's just Rondo and LeBron. There's not a lot of shooting there when they're playing together, but 2 of the smartest guys you can ever play with.
Oh, dude. I mean? Rondo's like an on-court coach, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he is no joke on the on the playmaking end and defensively. He is really good. I think they're gonna miss him. But I mean, they retained almost everyone they needed.
Sure. Yeah.
KCP got a much deserved.
They got rid of Danny Green.
Oh.
Oh man.
I don't know how they did that. That was a great move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was, man. That was I'm a big LeBron guy. So, like, seeing Danny Green, like, and it was more than just a Game 5 moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was so many, like, chances. Like, bro, this guy's like, what are you doing? Like, where's Danny Green? Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask, because me and Spencer actually talked about this. How do you feel about that play that that LeBron had? So when he drove in, dished it out to Danny Green for the game-winning shot. If you're LeBron, are you taking that shot, or are you passing it up to a wide-open Danny Green?
Bro, so I tried, and I don't usually do this, but I let my feels take over in this one, man. You're in the Mamba jerseys. You're fucking LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot that bitch, bro. Like,
Hey, man.
Hey, worst case scenario, you get the foul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, shoot that bitch. I mean, that's the right, but he made the right decision. Like, let's not say he didn't make the right decision. But like, in that moment, that's your moment. You know what I'm saying? Like take over.
Exactly.
But LeBron's proven time and time again, as much as I love him and I say he's the greatest or the best. I won't say he's the greatest. He's the best all time. But he don't have that dog in him, bro. I can fully
Yeah.
He don't got that dog in him, man.
I mean,
that's
I was telling Spencer. Yeah, I was telling Spencer that what pisses me off aside from that play was Danny Green wasn't even shooting well that game. And KCP was. They took KCP out and put Danny Green in. And so I was like, bro, what's going on here? And so like you said, like in the Mamba jerseys, that was his moment. Yeah. You know what I mean? If he would have made that shot or gotten fouled, and obviously,
cried,
like,
bro, it would have been fucking legendary, bro. It was one of those moments you never forgot.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. And so like, he did make the right play, but man, if he would have just laid it up, I mean, I'm glad that we won, obviously, but yeah. So, Spence, going on what you said though, yeah, Lakers and Nets for sure. The only way I can see that not happening is if the Nets get upset by Miami, because the Bucks were heavily favored last year, and Miami dismantled them. And if anybody has a chance to do that with Brooklyn, it's Miami, especially if you got Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Like, he's a hooper, like absolute hooper. And so like he'll be up for the challenge to guard KD, you know what I mean? And they have bodies to throw at Kyrie. So, that's something to watch out for my opinion.
But I think there's a difference between the Bucks and the Nets, because
the
Bucks didn't have that guy who was like, I'm going to get you a bucket. They had Chris Middleton. Giannis can't do all of that. But KD is a guy like, you can throw him out there and be like, I'm going to get you a bucket right now. I'll get
Trey
you like
Sniper
10 buckets.
Whatever his nickname is,
KD Trey, man, he is nice. He is easily one of the best players that we've ever seen, right? And I mean, without a doubt. And post Achilles, he looked like through 3 preseason games, right? He looks phenomenal. He looks amazing. So I'm just excited to see him come back, but I think I have them winning in 6, because I think he's shown he can go up against LeBron easily. I don't think the Lakers have enough ISO defenders to go up against a guy like KD.
Yo, KD and AD, that'll be the defensive matchup.
That would probably be the matchup.
KD.
Yeah. Nobody else. You can't throw anybody else on him.
LeBron has proven he can't stay with them at his age.
LeBron don't want it anymore either. There's times I think LeBron was like, hey. But he does so much on offense too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, especially for that Cleveland Cavaliers team, he was the fucking like.
He was
the offense. He was the defense.
Yeah, and kudos to Jimmy Butler, bro. He did his fucking thing. He balled out, and I showed the stats like how many minutes he played and whatnot. I'm like, bro, LeBron James done this his entire career. Like that's been like his entire career is playing that amount of minutes and carrying teams. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
mean, Jimmy was doing 46 minutes a game. And he was doing LeBron type stuff, and that was the amazing thing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that a lot of people are discounting them. Like we're saying, the Nets are going to the finals, and like the Heat were like, and they took them to 6, and they weren't even fully healthy. They didn't have the full roster either. So
exactly,
does that concern you for Lakers at all? Actually, knowing that the Heat took them that far.
Yes, it does, because during the regular season and in the playoffs and in the finals, the Lakers have had leads and they lost them.
Yeah.
Or they've caught up and haven't been able to finish the job. And so, like, I mean, the Heat are the only team to beat the Lakers wearing the Mamba jersey. That's saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, it's just their focus isn't there. And, like, I love having LeBron on my team, but it's just sometimes it's just not enough. And then, like you said about AD, like, I'm not trusting him to be healthy this whole season, and like going into the postseason and to the finals. I mean, hopefully, like it does raise some concern, and this is not even considering the fact that a lot of the players that are going to hope to load manage, they're not going to be able to do it with the fines. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they can extend that money. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'd rather rest, pay it, right? But it does raise some concerns for me personally, because I honestly thought that game, I honestly thought the series was going to finish in 5 games.
You should have.
No disrespect.
Yeah.
No disrespect to
gone
Miami,
no further than
but
5 at the most.
yeah.
But,
Yeah. Especially with Goran and, Bam going down. Like, I obviously didn't want that to happen. I wanted a full roster, but especially with them going down. But that's just a testament to how great Jimmy Butler is. That's why I can't count out Miami just yet. Like, I do have obviously the Nets, but it's just Jimmy Butler is a dog, man.
I cannot wait for the season, man.
Yeah, certified.
And it's like people forgot about the Heat because nobody's talking about them.
Exactly. They're flying under the radar. Yeah.
So that's good for them. That's better for them in the long run.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But,
who's MVP though? Who's MVP?
Ooh.
Who you got? Who you guys got?
My
Killian Hayes. No, I'm just kidding.
Good pick.
If KD is truly healthy, I think the MVP can be his this year.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I got Steph, man. Steph is gonna be different this year. I think he's proven that when he's by himself, he's different.
Yeah, I mean, me and Spence talked about this in our awards podcast, and I want you to delete this once again, Spence. I do have Wardell. I'm not gonna say his name. I have Wardell winning it, especially if he leads the Warriors to the playoffs with what he has. Especially, I think that this team is nowhere as good as the first championship team was. The 2014, 2015. But if he can do the impossible and lead them to the playoffs, because I told Spence, like, I can see the Warriors having an OKC type season, the one they had last year when everybody counted them out, right?
Yeah.
And so, if he can do that, then I think he can get MVP. But KD is my second pick, and the reason why I don't choose LeBron or AD because the quick turnaround. I have them seeing injuries that happen at practice that allows them to rest. Throughout much of the regular
LeBron's
season.
a year older.
Exactly. So, yeah, but those are my picks.
Okay. Rookie of the year.
Oh, man.
Man. Warriors are going to take all the awards, man.
Bias.
I actually have Tyrese Halliburton. I have him winning it.
He looks good.
De'Aaron Fox is struggling. I'm not saying that they're going to give the keys to Tyrese, but I have him as one of the top potential winners because of what he's shown with Iowa State, and he struggled in the preseason games, but the talent is definitely there. But my dark horse candidate is Cole Anthony. Like I said, for Orlando, Steve Clifford, like the way he approaches rookies, he doesn't really give them that much PT. So I'm kind of worried about that. But at the same time, like when your point guards are Markelle Fultz and MCW, you have no choice but to play Cole Anthony. So he's my dark horse candidate. But yeah,
and he was supposed to be like number 1 overall a couple years back too. Like he was.
He was one of the top consensus guys. But his 1 year at UNC was just like it was
awful, man.
Yeah,
he had the injury
bad.
too.
The injuries, the turnovers, the inconsistent play.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rookie of the year. Maybe I'm fucking biased or crazy, man. I've never felt about this about my Pistons in a long, long time, man. It's like, but I did originally have Killian just because of like the pieces around him, I guess, and like I think he's gonna go assist crazy and get enough.
Yeah.
But after seeing Melo do what he did the other night against the Magic, I think he hit like 4 threes and I think like 7 assists still. Like I think Melo could take it if he's doing numbers like that, and he's on ESPN every night. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys see that pass? That pass where he just like passed it up front and it went back into the was it Miles Bridges' hand? No, it was Malik Monk. It was an insane pass.
It's beautiful, bro. His I can't lie, I can't deny his passing is absolutely beautiful. He had one, I think, his first game where it's like behind the head.
Oh yeah.
But Yeah, man. And man, I think him and Miles Bridges about to go dumb with alley-oops.
Oh,
bro.
they're gonna go insane. This is Miles Bridges' like perfect dream for a point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Terry Rozier and Devontae Graham don't pass whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's such a
Devontae
different.
Graham's like a shooting guard in my mind. I don't know.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a 6-foot shooting guard, but
Yeah.
he can
Mhm.
shoot that thing.
Yeah, he
He
really
is
can.
a nice shooter. But Terry Rozier just has like he's like one of those offensive guys that's good at everything but not great at one thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Swiss
he's just
Army
that,
knife.
yeah. And the problem is that he just doesn't know what he is, so he just kind of struggles every year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And being by himself is probably the worst thing for him.
I want Boston to go get him back, man. I feel like they need that.
They just couldn't afford him because he was commanding a high price, like 18,
Yeah.
19 mil. He's not worth that kind of money.
But shit, all those guys on like rookie deals, man. Like fucking like
Yeah.
cash that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I don't
true.
know.
We'll see. But that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for Speakeasy coming on. That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
man. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. I definitely want to do this on my show sometime too.
yeah. No, we're down. We're
yeah.
down.
Yeah, I think I might go live. I'm for sure going live before the Pistons game, but maybe Tuesday too. If you guys want to tap in, just fucking hop on YouTube. I'll shoot you the link.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I do work,
Yeah,
so
man.
we'll see. But,
Yeah.
you know, check our links
Either
down
one
in the
of you.
description.
Yeah.
All our social medias can be down there. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out Speakeasy's podcast because he is really good at what he does.
Real
Yup.
quick too, man. We're 150 people away from 1K, man. Like,
He is so close. Get
give
him
me
there,
some
man.
love, baby. Come on now.
Hey, get her to 1K, man. Get her to 1K.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
He's been
Hit the-
killing
in the
it. Bro, I
description,
remember you
man.
were
Hit
at
the
like
subscribe
300
button.
when I first met you. And now you're at 800.
Man,
it's
been
insane.
fucking-
It's insane.
It's been beautiful, man. It's
Nah.
because you start this and like you're just doing it off of like your passion of in fandom, and then the other people that come around and support you or just like what you're doing. It's just it's awesome, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's a really good feeling.
dude. It is.
Yep.
You guys want to come up too, man. That's why I gotta get you guys on my show.
Thank you, man.
Spread the
Thank
word.
you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
We'd love that. But
Yeah, I
that's
like
gonna do
getting
it for us.
outsiders' perspectives too, because like I said, I
Oh,
got
yeah.
the really drinkers here, man. I
Yeah.
almost had Killian as my rookie of the year. And I feel like I was crazy saying that. It's like I always need to
No.
talk to you guys, like tune me down a little bit.
No, you're good. You're good. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you, and catch you guys in the next one.
Deuce.